great men and women have books written about them. Carl Sandburg wrote a 6-volume set about Abraham Lincoln. The first 2 books were called The Prairie Years. These books tell of the early life of Lincoln from birth until he became President of the United States. When Reese asked me to speak about my sister, I felt that I could pay her no finer tribute than to write the story of her life. This book is called... Do you remember it, or... I think this one is pretty much all of us. This book is called Lesley Bank, The Early Years. God willing, we will all be together when my second book is published. It will be called The Middle Years, and will hit the stand on Leslie's 70th birthday. The final volume, The Later Years, will premiere on her 80th birthday, should I remember how to write. It is most appropriate that this be a picture book, for Lesley has spent all of her adult life reading picture books to children and teaching them to become lifelong readers and writers. Many, many children will be able to pass the joy of literacy on to their own children because of Plainview Old Bethpage's special teacher, our sister, Lesley Bank. Okay. No? Lesley Bank, The Early Years. The picture on the cover is Leslie's favorite dress because she wore it for 6 years. You see it on the film. It's the picture of the plaid dress. You can see this later. The 3 of us, we all had one. They were different colors, but the same dress. So when I outgrew it, Sherry wore mine, Lesley wore Sherry. So she wore this dress for at least 6 years. It's a good thing my body never changed. Everybody else. Don't you all think I'm funny?
It's a good thing you're not a sensitive person.
This is with apologies to my colleagues and to Mem Fox. Once upon a time, there were 3 little girls, Carol, Sherry, and Lesley. They all lived together in a 3-room apartment in the Bronx with their mommy and daddy. Carol and Sherry slept in the bedroom in the same bed, but Lesley had a bed of her own. Do you think it was fair that the youngest got alone and the eldest slept with her sister? I can see the belly. Mommy and Daddy slept on the pull-out couch in the living room, and they were happy with the situation, so the case was closed. When Carol and Sherry were small, they went to dancing school. When Lesley was small, she did not go to dancing school. To this very day, Lesley complains about the poor treatment. Does she not remember that she had her own bed? Oh, wait. 2 of you had Girl Scouts, I didn't have Girl Scouts.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
That's another chapter. The battery.
All 3 girls attended PS 77. Everyone who went to that school was smart. Did you know that Lesley was so smart that she skipped the 3rd grade? Many years later, the school was closed due to poor grades. When Carol was in the 5th grade, she began taking music lessons at school. When Sherry was in the 4th grade, she began music lessons. Since the teacher already knew her big sisters, when Lesley was in the 2nd grade, she began music lessons. Lesley and Sherry played violin. That's what I said. Carol and Sherry played violin, which was very easy to carry. But little Lesley played the cello, which was definitely harder than she was. At the first concert, Lesley wore stockings. Not like the ones we have today, but real stockings that required a garter belt. when Mommy let her wear stockings, while her older sisters had to wait until they were 10 or 11. This, however, did not make up for the fact that she did not have dancing lessons. I still think about that.
She had her own bed,
Carol,
though.
Sherry, and Lesley loved Passover. Even though the apartment was small, Mommy invited all the family for both nights. Daddy's chair touched the TV set near the window on one end of the room, and Mommy's head near the wall on the other end. The girls loved singing Echad Mi'odea with Daddy leading. To hear that Carol and Sherry and Lesley could sing it in Hebrew faster than Daddy was very special. To this day, they race through those songs as the Seder goes all the way to the end, no matter how late it becomes. When Carol was in the 7th grade, she auditioned and was chosen to play violin in the Bronx Borough-wide Junior High School Orchestra. When Carol was in the 7th grade, when Carol was in the 9th grade, Sherry was in the 7th grade and auditioned and was chosen to play violin in the Bronx Borough-wide Junior High School Orchestra. Lesley, therefore, was in the 6th grade because I had skipped her. That would have made Lesley still too young to be in the borough-wide orchestra. However, since the conductor, Anna Landy, already knew the tremendous talent of her two sisters, Lesley was asked to audition and subsequently was selected. Because they needed cellos. The first year that Carol played in the orchestra, the concert was at Hunter College. The second year that Carol played in the orchestra, the concert was at Hunter College. The third year that Carol played in the orchestra, Sherry and Lesley also played. The city of New York knew that Lesley Washler was now in their orchestra, so instead of the normal Hunter College concert, they felt she should play at Carnegie Hall. This is true. So for the first time ever, junior high school children played at Carnegie Hall. It was an incredibly exciting time. Are you finished with that, Dad? I'm not finished. Don't talk. The day before the big day, there was a dress rehearsal at Carnegie Hall. Carol, Sherry, and Lesley and all their friends took the Pelham Bay Park subway from the Bronx into Manhattan and switched to a cross-town train. Do you remember what instruments the girls played? Now think. Carol played the violin, Sherry played the violin, but little Lesley played the cello. Now, what happens on a subway train? It makes a lot of noise, sways, and sometimes stops short. Well, when this train stopped short, all the children fell to one side. Normally, they would laugh at this. But when everybody got up and saw that Leslie's cello had cracked from the weight of all the children falling on it, the laughter stopped. Carol, Sherry, and Lesley began to cry. This is a wonderful picture of the subway, no kidding. What happened? I'm going to They walked teary-eyed into Carnegie Hall and found their friend the conductor, Anna Landy, and told her their sad tale. She suggested that they call Mommy and Daddy to find out what to do. Since no one ever heard of cell phones, they had to call from a public payphone on 57th Street. Their parents told them to go to Carl Berger, the violin maker in the Steinway building across the street from Carnegie Hall, where Carol and Sherry had their violins fixed. Mr. Berger said that he would have done it, but the cello couldn't be played until the following day. Lesley had to sit through the dress rehearsal without playing. She is, therefore, the only person in the history of Carnegie Hall to perform there without practicing. The big day finally arrived. Daddy bought 42 orchestra tickets. That's the truth. For $5 a piece, and virtually every relative they had was there. Daddy closed the store early so Mommy and Daddy could get dressed up and be there on time. Uncle Herbie could not find a parking space on the street, so he parked in front of the theater and got a ticket. He talked about that ticket through the years, almost as much as Lesley spoke about not taking meds. Eleanor Roosevelt sat in a box seat to hear the concert. Isaac Stern, president of Carnegie Hall, was also there. He gave a big speech. He told all the people that from that day forward, he was giving Carnegie Hall to the children of the city of New York for one night a year. And so it is today. Wait, perfect.
Eleanor Roosevelt came on stage and tweaked my nose.
We're very close to After junior high school graduation, Carol attended the High School of Music and Art. After junior high school graduation, Shirley attended After junior high school graduation, Lesley also attended the High School of Music and Art, but she had to do it on her own with no help from any teacher who knew any sister. Shockingly, all three sisters went to different colleges. Lesley, of course, went to the State University College in New Falls.
Party
and
Central.
became a prominent member of her sorority. No one is sure how many classes she attended, but she did graduate and then attended Queens College for grad school. The rest is history. Lesley became a teacher and married Ted. Time flew. They had one little boy and then 3 more children. Now Les devotes her life to her husband, all her children, her grandchildren, Ethan and Austin, and the children in her class. Who could ask for anything more?